Facilitation working group has one more proposal.
Facilitation group has one more proposal.
Another proposed GA time.
Another proposed GA time.
Thursday at 6 p.m.
Thursday at 6 p.m.
We are now opening the stack for any speakers list. For any questions.
For any questions.
Concerns. Or friendly amendments.
I think it's really important
to
not go a week between GAs. And have a meeting during the week. That can come to consensus. About large community issues.
Stack is now closed.
Speakers list is now closed.
We meet every day at 9:30 p.m. This is a campers assembly. It mostly addresses issues about people camping. I think it's a great idea. Have a general assembly. For the Greater Burlington or the Occupy movement. Every week. At specific times. Let's do that.
I believe there was a question concerning pre-GA rallies. They got lost in this process. This gentleman here was asking.
Point of process?
Yes.
We're speaking specifically about the proposed Thursday meeting.
There's no rally before it.
We are done with the speakers list.
Who feels good about having a meeting on Thursday?
Who feels good about having a meeting on Thursday?
At 6 p.m.
Who feels at 6 p.m.? Who feels mad about having a meeting on Thursday?
Who feels mad about having a meeting on Thursdays?
Who feels bad about feeling a meeting on Thursday?
Who feels bad about having a meeting on Thursdays?
Who has a serious concern? Speak up! We're having meetings on Thursdays!
Next working group. Alex.
I'm Alex.
I'm Alex with the student working group.
We were very successful last Wednesday.
Bringing
100 students out for the rally. And overall 300 people. Taking Waterman and then Main Street. In solidarity with UVM workers. And with the National Day of Action. Against police brutality and solidarity with Oakland. Later that week, 300 students sat in at Essex High School. In response to a homophobic attack. On a freshman at the school. The student working group has a lot going on. Both ourselves and inspiring other struggles. We will be meeting at 4 o'clock in the northwest corner of the park. I would encourage students to participate in the working group meeting. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Gia. In case you forgot. I'm going to speak again. To announce a meeting. Of the Health and Wellness. Working Group. The Health and Wellness Working Group. Will meet. On. Wednesday. At 1:30 p.m. Here in the park. And the main purpose of this meeting
And the main purpose of this meeting
is to plan a wellness fair
is to plan a wellness fair
in order to institute regular wellness activities
regular wellness activities
in our camp
in our camp
and for our community at large.
and for our community at large.
Because we need healing in this time.
Because we need healing in this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will now open a stack
We will now open a stack
for new working group proposals.
for new working group proposals.
Please suggest a place and time
Please suggest a place and time
for your group to meet
for your group to meet
after the General Assembly
after the General Assembly
and/or how people can digitally connect
how people can digitally connect
with your new group.
with your new group.
The stack is now open.
The stack is now open.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
My name's Jamie.
My name's Jamie.
And I have been here every night for the past 4 nights.
I have been here every night for the past 4
It's
nights.
been awesome.
It's been awesome,
But
but
stressful.
stressful.
I think we're forgetting
I think we're forgetting
how much fun we could be having.
how much fun we could be having.
I propose
I propose
the Fun Percent Working Group.
The 1% working group.
Committed to making sure everyone's remembering what's important.
Everyone remembers what's important.
So if you're interested,
So if you're interested,
come talk to me
come talk to me
over there after the meeting.
over there after the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stack for new working groups
Stack for new working groups
is now closed.
is now closed.
Yeah, try your own.
Yesterday,
Yesterday,
I went down
to
to the Central Vermont occupation.
the Central Vermont occupation.
Jamie was there,
Jamie was there,
and we learned some really interesting things.
and we learned some really interesting things,
And offered myself and a few other people
and offered myself and a few other people
as a Burlington Montpelier liaison
as a Burlington Montpelier liaison
in order to connect the movements
in order to connect the movements
more solidly together.
more solidly together.
If you like Central Vermont
If you like Central Vermont
and you want to come down with me on Saturdays,
and you want to come down with me on Saturdays,
you should come find me.
you should come find me.
I live here.
I live here.
My name is Emma Lillian.
My name is Emma Lillian.
I'm here most of the time.
I'm here most of the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jimmy.
My name is Jimmy.
On Thursday,
On Thursday,
there was a meeting,
there's a meeting
an informal meeting of two lawyers, Sandy Baird and myself,
of two lawyers, Sandy Bear and myself,
and one of the campers here,
and one of the campers here,
Andrew, to discuss issues about the occupation.
issues about the occupation.
So we'd like to set up a legal working group,
And we'd like to set up a legal working group,
and anybody who's interested in working with that legal working group,
and anyone who's interested in working with that legal working group,
meet with me right here
meet with me right here
after the General Assembly.
after the General Assembly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. I haven't anything planned,
I haven't had anything planned,
so I don't know exactly what I'm going to say.
so I don't know exactly what I'm going to say.
But
Go ahead.
behavioral advertising
Behavioral advertising
is a means of selling
is a means of selling
anything.
anything.
Is there any interest
Is there any interest
in forming a working group
in forming a working group
whose purpose
whose purpose
is to explore various aspects of this issue,
is to explore various aspects of this issue,
how it relates to the economics,
how it relates to the economics,
and the human rights that I believe are fundamental to this group.
Can you give a place and time for the meeting?
Can you give a place and time for the meeting?
Right after now. Where? I was just looking for information
I was just looking for information
to see if there is
to see if there is
interest in forming such a group.
in forming such a group.
Vibe check?
Anyone interested?
Clarifying question.
Exactly. What would the group be again?
What would the group be again?
Advertising.
Advertising?
Behavioral advertising is how I quantified it.
Behavioral
Advertising is how I quantified it.
One example can be found on the internet
One example can be found on the internet
where your clicks are monitored
where your clicks are monitored
and advertisements pop up
and advertisements pop up
in advertisement sections of web pages
in advertisement sections of web pages
that match
that match
somewhat your previous activity.
somewhat your previous activity.
There are many other types
There are many other types
and applications
and applications
of various forms
of various forms
of behavioral advertising
of behavioral advertising
and related technology.
and related technology.
Another example,
Another example,
they repeated the Milligan experiment
they repeated the Milligan experiment
in an effort to quantify whether we're evil or not.
quantify whether we're evil or not.
The experiment itself
The experiment itself
was a demonstration of evil.
was a demonstration of evil.
They repeated it
They repeated it
and don't understand what they did.
And don't understand what they did.
Point of process. If anybody is interested,
Anyone is interested
in learning more about this,
in learning more about this,
could you please discuss it on a one-on-one
please discuss it on a one-on-one
after the General Assembly?
after the General Assembly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mic check.
Mic check.
So far, this occupation
So far, this occupation
has been depicted in the media
has been depicted in the media
in terms of tent stakes and public urination
in terms of tent stakes and public urination
driven by our mayor,
driven by our mayor,
in narratives that don't represent
in narratives that don't represent
the concerns of the 99%.
the concerns of the 99%.
If you'd like to help change these media depictions,
If you'd like to help change this media
I'd
depictions,
like to form a media activism working group
I'd like to form a media activism working group
that's focused specifically on press releases,
that's focused specifically on press releases,
other ways of changing this media narrative,
other ways of changing this media narrative,
meeting at the fountain right after the assembly.
meeting at the fountain right after the assembly.
Clarifying question.
Clarifying question?
How is this different
How is this different
from the outreach working group?
from the outreach working group?
To answer your question, the outreach working group
The outreach working group
focuses on flyering
focuses on flyering
and bringing people in via social media
and bringing people in via social media.
to our movement. It doesn't necessarily
It doesn't necessarily
focus on media depictions of our movement.
focus on media depictions of our movement.
So I'm not sure there's A, the capacity,
I'm not sure that there's A, the capacity,
or B, the sheer numbers to address all of that.
or B, the sheer numbers to address all of that.
Any other clarifying question? No. Point of information.
The media
Has talked about
has talked about
urinating
urinating
tent stakes.
and tent stakes.
They have not talked about
They have not talked about
any of the issues.
any of the issues.
I've been interviewed a lot of times.
I've been interviewed a lot of
They
times,
always cut that part out.
and they always cut that part out.
Let's change that.
Let's change that.
Next proposal?